Welcome to the present moment. Welcome to the Darla Beam Leadership and Coaching Podcast.
Hi there, my name is Darla Beam, and I am with DB Leadership. And I co-founded the Youth Leadership Academy in the last year or two. And in this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about what I've learned from leading the Youth Leadership Academy. But first, I'm going to tell you what the Youth Leadership Academy is and why it was founded. So a couple of years ago, well, I guess maybe about 5 years ago, I started homeschooling my kiddos. And part of the reason why was because we were traveling a ton, and part of the reason why was because we wanted to focus on inherent leadership in our kids. We're entrepreneurs in our family, and what we believe is that if you have a sense of your inherent leadership, really anything is possible from that place, because you as a human being believe that you have everything that you need. And if you're a leader, you can leverage your leadership tools to get to where you want to go. So we decided to homeschool the kids, so every day we had a focus on leadership development. And my little one at the time, she was maybe fourth, fifth grade, and she hated it, honestly. She did not like leadership development. We spent about 5 or 10 minutes every morning doing leadership development, reading about a different leader in the world, often feminine, female leaders, change makers, that kind of thing. We would talk about it. So that was kind of the foundation of how we used it, as well as throughout the day. But that was kind of the core component. But Olivia just hated it, okay? Fast forward to just a year or two ago, and we were developing some leadership concepts. I was delivering them to my kids, and my kid, specifically Olivia, who hates leadership, said, "Wow, Mom, you really need to teach this to other kids. They need to know this, and the boys need to know this." And at the time, I think she was 11, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's saying this to me. She's a middle schooler now, and she feels like, and she was in traditional, by that time she was in traditional school. She had just started back to traditional brick and mortar schooling. And she was looking around saying that other kids need this, and specifically, in her opinion, boys needed it. So that kind of sparked this idea of the Youth Leadership Academy, and it has kind of snowballed from there. And now we work with all sorts of kiddos and in schools and with organizations. And the bottom line is awareness of that leader within, right? That you are a leader. Everyone is a leader. You have a voice and you are at choice. And so what we really want them to understand is that even though they're kids and they don't get to necessarily choose, whether or not they go to school, they can choose how they respond to it. And leaders choose. They choose powerfully, right? When we're on the model, when we're on the leadership model, we choose powerfully. So we connect them to that leader within and ground them to that place, bring awareness to choice, and then give them tools, real specific, tangible tools. Because it's like, we talk about leadership and we say kids are the leaders of tomorrow, but then there isn't a whole lot out there. Okay, well, now what? How? What can we do? And so that's what we do at the Youth Leadership Academy. We bring the how. So how we do that is we prepare programs. We have design programs, and then we have custom programs. And what I've learned, and which is what I'm here to share with you today, is that we prepare. We co-create. We co-create from what I like to call the emerging future. So we don't think about the past and what's been done and what's worked and what's not worked. We really listen to what we like to call the field and the emerging future. What does the future want for these kids and need for these kids? And then we listen to what the kids want. We constantly get feedback. We ask for feedback. And we listen. We listen, we listen, we listen. And as we were talking about what I've learned from the Leadership Academy, that is actually the thing that I learn again and again and again, is how to listen. We can prepare a program and spend 200 hours preparing the program. And the magic happens. And then as a result of the magic, the efficacy of the program really comes from that connection to them. And so much of that is through listening. And I don't know about you, but I don't listen to my kids as often as I should. Shouldn't should of myself, but as often as I could, as often as I want to. And I mean really listen. Get grounded, just hear them, just see them. Get out of that transactional, let's get to the next thing, or get to the next place we're driving to. And so I'm able to do that when I let go. So I can prepare these programs, and then I just need to let go. And that's just like in parenting and in life too, right? Like I can prepare a proposal, or prepare dinner. And then ultimately it's about letting go. Non-attachment. Because that like, oh, I've got to get it done. I've got to get this client. I've got to eat this meal. That is not who I want to be. That's not how I want to be remembered, honestly. I don't want to be remembered as someone who got up and shoved a bunch of material down people's throats, or was so attached to the meal I made, or the proposal that I was so tense. What I actually want is for people to remember how we connected, how I connected with them, how I made them feel. And most people, actually, I've read this recently, or somebody's telling me that most people at their eulogies, the person who's giving the eulogy talks about how the person made them feel, not what they accomplished, which is really interesting. So if you had to break this down sort of into steps, and I'm talking about the Youth Leadership Academy, but this also applies to parenting, relationships, in your business life, whatever it is that you do, this sort of model, you can take it for what it's worth. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But step one is really prepare, from a place of presence, co-create, if you've got somebody to co-create with. Then let go. Really just sort of listen, not with your mind. Try to listen a little bit with your heart. And the third step is listen. Listen to what's being said verbally. Listen to what's not being said, because sometimes there's more information in what's not being said. Really practice that. It's a good one. It's a really good and underutilized tool. There's so much information and body language and sort of the vibe, right? Pay attention to that. Listen. And then reflect. Kind of go inside and just see what comes up. We don't always have to react in the moment. We don't always have to have the answer. We don't always have to jump in and solve the problem. It's good to take a step back. That was Grizz, my dog. She's grunting her approval, I think. She's asleep. And the next step is repeat. So go back to preparing what's next, co-creating, getting present. That's all in that prepare, right? Prepare yourself, prepare your material. That's really what I've learned from the Youth Leadership Academy. There are so many things that the kids have taught us, that have taught me. It really comes down to this, and that's kind of could be said in like letting go of my ego and not being attached. Not being attached to whatever I've brought, to whatever I've created. It's all about me, right? I. And just let go of all that and listen. So that's what I've learned from the Youth Leadership Academy. That's what I keep learning again and again. So try it. I'm curious to hear what comes up for you when you try these steps. Prepare from a place of presence and peace. Let go. Listen. Reflect. And repeat. So let me know how that, there's sort of a shadow coming across here. The sun is coming up on what we're talking about. So it's time. So try it and let me know, right in the comments below. Let me know what works, what doesn't work. Love to hear your comments and your feedback. Connect with me directly, email me. Love to hear about it. Have a great day. Thanks.